To shine a light on the fight against censorship and celebrate the freedom to read, we invite local artists and the general public, ages 13 and up, to submit original artwork to QPL's Banned Books Library Card Design Contest. The winning art will be featured on QPL's Banned Books Special Edition Library Card, and the winning artist will also receive a $2,000 cash prize. Learn more and enter the contest today at queenslib.org/design contest. Our Hispanic Heritage Month celebrations continue at the library. Explore our virtual and in-person programs, discover our special Hispanic Heritage book lists for all ages, and grab a copy of our Hispanic Heritage brochure from your local library. Visit queenslib.org/blog to learn more. Halloween is coming soon. It's time to make some spooky crafts, watch scary movies, hear ghost stories, and wear your favorite costume. And you can do all of that and more at the library. Visit the QPL calendar on our website to learn about all of our Halloween programs.
Hello, my name is Jerry Grantham, Assistant Director of Civic Engagement at Queens Public Library. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about the Friends of Queens Public Library. Is a friend of QPL. A friend is a champion of their community, local branch, and libraries as a whole. Someone who is willing to serve on a more engaged level with their time and talents to benefit society. We have a few guiding principles for our Friends of QPL. Our vision of the future. The Friends of QPL are effective, skilled, and capable leaders committed to achieving a vibrant, informed, cohesive, and empowered society. They exemplify the values of Queens Public Library through their words and deeds and help to build strong local communities. Our mission for the Friends of QPL is for them to partner with the institution to support meaningful learning opportunities that benefit the public, cultivate individual relationships, talents, and ideas that strengthen the community good. We also want our friends to be thorough in their advocacy and their outreach with the value and importance of lifelong knowledge. So, now we're going to get into what a friend of QPL can actually do. We have three main tenets for our friends. The first one being to sponsor library programs and services that would otherwise maybe be limited or unavailable to the general public. So, some examples of programs that our friends have sponsored before have been cultural enrichment programs, such as musical performances led by professional musicians, music lessons, even the purchasing of instruments. For example, we had a ukulele class and ukuleles that were purchased by the friends. Chess clubs with chess sets being purchased for libraries, mahjong sets being purchased for libraries, as well as mahjong tables, drawing kits for teenagers for a Magna series, book giveaways so the public could build their home libraries. The possibilities are endless to the different programs and services that our friends have been able to provide. Our friends also conduct outreach events to increase awareness of library programming and available services such as civic engagement, workforce development, and adult education. Just recently, we've had friends doing voter registration at various branches. During the pandemic, they were very instrumental in helping us hand out kits, even during the census, get the word out about the census. So our friends are very much so our ambassadors on the ground and helping us push different things throughout the community. Our friends also are very instrumental in our advocacy campaigns. Those advocacy campaigns are to inform the community and elected officials of library priorities and encourage their ongoing support within local, city, state, and federal government. Our friends have been so involved when it comes to helping us whenever there's a budget crunch time. This past spring, we had a very robust campaign fighting for our funding, and our friends were on the ground leading letter writing campaigns, postcard campaigns, and helping get the word out that we were fighting. And thankfully, our budgets were able to be fully restored. And I know that that was with the help and support of our friends really leading that push on the ground for advocacy for us to do. So, in order to be a friend of QPL, there are a few steps. So, first thing is that is the most important is that you must be at least 18 years or older. And you will need to make an annual donation to the Queens Public Library Foundation. There is no minimum amount of a donation that you have to make. So, whatever you feel that you would like to give, you can allocate that gift however you would like, whether to a specific branch, maybe your local library, or you can just give a open-ended unrestricted gift to the Queens Public Library Foundation. As you are giving your gift, there's a little box that says, are you interested in learning about the Friends of QPL? You must click yes when you're doing your donation, and then you will get a follow-up email with the Friends of QPL membership profile. So once you complete that profile, that is kind of the last step and how you join us. And so with that, upon giving your donation, which again you can do on queenslibrary.org/support, and again continue on with your donation in any denomination that you like for your gift. And when you get to the portion of that form online that says, would you like information on Friends of QPL or our volunteering and advocacy group, you're going to select yes, and you will get the email with that membership profile. So with that profile, it's just basic information that you're giving us so we're able to contact you, but also letting us know the goals, your goals, and things that you would like to get out of being a friend of QPL. But with that, once you complete that membership profile, you will get a welcome kit in the mail, and you will go into our pool, the Friends of QPL. And so what we do is we send out calls to action to our friends via email, and those are different campaigns throughout the year, whether that's, like I said, a voter registration table, advocacy, working on various fundraisers. Different branches throughout the system are allowed to contact Civic Engagement and let us know if there's a project or a program that they would like help support of the Friends of QPL. And if that's something that you're interested in, you just kind of opt in. You let us know that is an activity that I would like to do. So say there's a book giveaway at the South Hollis branch and you're available that Saturday to come out and help with that book giveaway, you just let us know and you show up and you're able to partake in that activity. Or say Glen Oaks community would like to do a canvassing project and you want to go and help and see what local restaurants or businesses are willing to maybe hang up flyers for the branch and report that information back to us, then that is something that you could opt in to do. If we're doing a fundraiser, maybe a book sale, various activities that really span the gamut, you can opt in to whatever fits your schedule and interests you personally. I could go on, but I feel like the best way for you to really learn what it actually means to be a friend of QPL is to actually hear from one. So I am honored to bring to the screen a longtime friend of Queens Public Library and a fierce advocate for the Ridgewood branch. Welcome, Michaeline Von Drathen.
Hi, Jerry.
Hi, Michaeline. Thank you so much for joining us, just so people can kind of get an idea about what it's like to be a friend of QPL. So first question for you, when did you first become involved with the Friends of QPL?
I believe it was 2017.
And what attracted you to joining the Friends?
Well, my family has been going to Ridgewood Library since it opened in 1929. So the library has been part of my life for a very long time, and at many different stages throughout my life and career as well. And basically, who wouldn't want to be part of an organization and a community where everyone's welcome, where all resources are free? It's a safe space. Libraries invest in our communities and ask for nothing in return. Whatever time I can give and however I can assist the library, I'm happy to do so.
Definitely. Why are the Friends of QPL an asset to your community?
The Friends are an extension of the library or the particular branch that they serve and support. We can assist the library in meeting the community where they're at. We attend we do a lot of outreach. We attend many community events where we receive feedback and requests from the community of what programs and events that they would like to see at the library, and which we report back to our community library manager. Um, which also helps us develop and sponsor programs, all while filling a community need. We also promote and sponsor programs. Of course, we recruit friends and we fundraise, which goes back to Ridgewood Library and therefore the community. Due to our fundraising efforts and generous members, at times we've helped out during budget cuts.
No, and I just want to point out that you all have been so generous that you've not only done things for the Ridgewood Library, but for the system as a whole, especially during the pandemic. Very generous gifts to our ebook collection and other things that served not just Ridgewood, but the system as a whole. So always leading by example. You all, what have been a few of your proudest moments to date as a friend?
There's been many, but I guess I'll discuss some of the two of the new programs that we started this year. Our first was we did our first ever community day during this over the summer, and that was basically we invited local nonprofit groups to come to the library to let the community know what they're all about, and to hopefully also get some volunteers for their organization. So we had a really great turnout. And it was something that basically the community wanted to know when we were having another community day. So it was really a successful event. Our other one would be we host a Reading Ridgewood social every month. So it's kind of like a book club, but it's not your typical book club. So basically, we invite book lovers to come join us for about an hour and a half for some quiet reading time. They can bring whatever book they want, audio book, whatever they want to read. And then for the last half hour, 45 minutes, we just kind of get together and talk about what everyone's reading. So it's just another great way to kind of interact and meet members of our community.
No, great. No, those are definitely some great programs. In what ways can the Friends and the library remain relevant and an asset to the community?
I think some of the best ways is basically you have get out into your community, go to different types of community events and meetings, and not necessarily as a friend member, but as an individual member of your community. Volunteer with other organizations if you can, and join your community social media accounts, which are a great resource to learn what the community is looking for. Network with other friends groups and see what other friends groups and even what other libraries are doing, not just in Queens or New York, but across the country.
Absolutely. But speaking of, you touched on this a little bit about getting out, networking, collaborating. what have been some of the benefits of working alongside other members to accomplish your goals as a friend?
It's definitely it's collaborative, which is always just great to have and see. Um, it's it allows you to be creative. We're also a very active group, which helps ensure that we accomplish our goals. Um, and it's fun.
Having fun is definitely important. That definitely that helps. It brings the people back, right? Um, in what ways has the library staff supported your efforts during your time as a friend?
Oh, I mean, they're just fabulous. I can't say enough, wonderful things about them. They are constant supporters of us. They encourage us, and of course, they're always a great resource when we have an idea to kind of bounce off an idea off of them as well. Um, they're always willing to listen to our ideas and provide advice and guidance when we're planning an event. They also, our community library manager attends our monthly meetings, which is really greatly appreciated. So we kind of get instant feedback and input from her. And also, we're always kind of aware of what's going on at Ridgewood Library, because as much as we'd love to be there every day and kind of know everything that's going on, we can't always do that. So she lets us know that as well. And the staff is always willing to help us out, taking part in our events when they can, in any way they can, and they always make us feel so welcome.
If you could just share a little bit about your experience as a friend with doing advocacy for Queens Public Library. You've been instrumental and done some very cool things for us on the advocacy side. So I was hoping you could just share some of your experiences about maybe testifying or the postcard campaign, whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah. So So for the last, I guess, for the last 2 years, there's we've unfortunately we've had to not go through, but there was almost, kind of a budget cut. So this year what we did was we really assisted with the postcard campaign and the letter writing campaign. And we set a goal for ourselves to collect 1,000 signatures, which we did. We not only met that goal, but we surpassed it. And it was just really great to see the community coming together and supporting the library, and basically hearing repeatedly what a great resource it is to the community, and basically, just hearing about how much the library is loved for so many different reasons, and why so many people come to the library. So that was one of our really great accomplishments this year. In prior years, yes, I've testified to the local city council library committee on basically why the library budget should not be cut. Another way we've kind of supported libraries and librarians is basically we do a lot around making the community aware about book banning. So we've done banned book giveaways. We kind of really make Banned Book Week to raise awareness, and also celebrate books and celebrate inclusivity. So those are some of the things that we're really kind of proud to advocate for on behalf of the library.
Thank you, and very dynamic work that you all do. It's always a pleasure to see what you all come up with, and how we're able to collaborate, and just see you all in the community. I feel like whenever I attend events with you all, I always hear people saying, I'm so glad that this happened, or that you put this together. Everybody's just always having a good time. So it's always just a pleasure to be around and see. Even you guys are tabling at street fairs and doing book giveaways. Like you span the gamut of the different things that you do. So it's always good fun. And we will wrap up with this. why would you tell somebody to join the Friends of QPL?
Oh, wow. Gee, how long do I have?
You can take as long as you wish.
So I think basically, if you love libraries, you should definitely be a friend. But obviously, if you believe in keeping, crucial resources in the hands of the public, fighting censorship, keeping libraries open and accessible, if you believe in inclusivity, if you believe in a safe space, if you believe in free access to information, culture, art programs, all for free, then you should be a friend. The friends are for you.
No, I couldn't have said it better myself. Michaeline, thank you so much for taking the time to share your experience with everyone. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Jerry.
Mm-hmm. And so now we will transition into another area because it's not just about the Friends of QPL. This is National Friends of the Libraries Week. And so across America, there are friends groups that are being celebrated and supporting their libraries. So in addition to all the great things that we're doing here in Queens, we very much so wanted to share with you all about an initiative and a great association, the New York Library Association, NYLA, as we like to call it. So NYLA leads, educates, and advocates for the advancement of the New York library community. It is affiliated with the American Library Association as the New York chapter of that national body. NYLA has 9 sections, and of course, one of them is the Friends of Libraries section. And so joining us now, we have the second vice president of the Friends of Libraries section, Amy Tachenja, and she's going to tell you all about the Friends of Libraries section.
Hello. Happy National Friends of Libraries Week, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Amy. I'm a librarian at Rochester Public Library in Western New York. I'm also a volunteer with the New York Library Association Friends of Libraries section, and that is the hat that I am wearing tonight. Here's what you can expect from me this evening. I am going to give you an overview of the New York Library Association, highlight Friends of Libraries section membership benefits, and let you know how you can join. Then I'll touch on how you can become an FLS volunteer if you are so inclined. The New York Library Association, or NYLA, is the professional association for library workers in New York State. NYLA is open to all members of the library community, including friends of the library, trustees, and students. So, participation in a professional association typically requires members to pay annual membership dues, and NYLA is no exception. The annual dues paid by members help support the work of the NYLA Legislative Committee, which represents all of us in Albany and Washington, D.C., by initiating, recommending, and supporting legislation pertinent to the development and strengthening of library services in New York State. Under the umbrella of NYLA, there are 9 subdivisions or sections which represent the various specialties in the library world. That's what you're seeing depicted on this slide. There is something for everyone. There's a section for people who work in academic and special libraries, for library leaders and managers, for public librarians, for youth services staff, school librarians, for library staff who specialize in instruction and development. There's a section for folks who love technology. There's a section for library trustees, and most importantly, there is a section for friends, and that's why FLS gets the heart. Another way to connect with members who share common interests with you is to join a roundtable. NYLA currently has about 12 active roundtables. A few examples include the Intellectual Freedom Roundtable, the Pop Culture Roundtable, and the New York Black Librarians Caucus. Okay, let's talk about the Friends of Libraries section, hereafter known as FLS. FLS is the NYLA section for Friends of the Library. The section is directed by a 15-member board that represents the geographic diversity of New York State. We have board members scattered across New York from the North Country to Queens. We are all volunteers. Some of us are library staff who support the efforts of Friends groups. Some of us are community volunteers who are active in a Friends group, and some of us are retired library staff, many of whom have been active in NYLA for their entire careers and have a lot of wisdom to share. Even though every library and every Friends group is unique, we share many of the same struggles and have a lot to learn from one another. FLS recognizes that and takes its mission to connect and inspire Friends groups in all types of libraries across New York State very seriously. I'm just giving you a quick glance at the FLS Executive Board. You might recognize Jerry Grantham there in the front row. And then there's also a picture of me channeling like my inner Steve Jobs in the top row too. All right. FLS's membership benefits include access to publications and learning opportunities to engage and inspire your Friends group, including our bi-monthly newsletter, Friends News and Notes. Friends News and Notes includes articles highlighting the good work Friends are doing across New York State. You'll also find FLS news inside, as well as detailed recaps of FLS webinars, trainings, and NYLA conference offerings. Friends News and Notes is emailed out to members, but it prints out very nicely if you are a person like me who enjoys to read like a hard copy piece of paper. You can view our most recent issue at www.nyla.org/friends, even if you're not a member. Older issues are behind a paywall, but you can always view the newest issue, without being a member. Another FLS membership perk is discounted admission to the NYLA annual conference, which is actually coming up in Syracuse this November 6th through 9th. I know Syracuse is a hike from Queens, but next November, the conference will be returning to Saratoga Springs, and that's where it mostly lives. Each year, there are several workshops offered on Friends topics, and the conference is a great place to network and make new friends. This year, Friends programming includes sessions on Friends board development and strategies, finding valuable volunteers, fundraising without book sales, strengthening your Friends of the Library group, and a few others. FLS offers additional virtual and in-person training opportunities throughout the year, including our very popular FLS Connections series. FLS Connections is a themed virtual discussion series. A featured speaker presents on a topic for about 30 minutes, and then there's an open discussion that follows. Recent topics have included succession planning, membership engagement, making the most of National Friends of Libraries Week, and e-newsletter and email marketing. FLS also has written resources and guides on a variety of Friends topics, from starting a new Friends organization to resources on specific topics such as leadership, membership and volunteer engagement, fundraising, programming, advocacy, and more. Lastly, FLS offers 2 annual awards and scholarships for Friends. The FLS Daniel W. Casey Advocacy Award, which highlights the work of an outstanding library volunteer, and the FLS Randall Enos Scholarship Fund, which provides one lucky FLS member with about $1,000 to attend the NYLA annual conference. So in order to join FLS, you do need to become a member of the New York Library Association, and you can do that online at www.nyla.org. The organization operates on a fixed membership year. Memberships begin on June 1st and expire on May 31st. So it's best to join as close to June 1st as possible so you can get your money's worth. But you can join at any time. If you join after December 1st, your membership will be prorated. NYLA offers reduced annual membership rates for friends. There is a group membership option called a Friends Group organizational membership, and that entitles up to 5 members of a Friends Group to join for $100 per year. There is also a personal friend level membership for individuals, and that costs $50 per year. If you're not a member, we would be honored if you join us. The more members we have, the more good work we can do. I have a handout with detailed instructions on how to join that I can send to Jerry in case anyone is interested in joining and needs a little help. All right. I know you guys are already volunteering at Queens Public Library, and that's so awesome. But if you're like, I've got more to give, let me tell you a little bit about volunteering with FLS. FLS needs active members to grow. There's many ways to get involved, from serving in an elected position on the FLS executive board to writing for our newsletter, Friends, News, and Notes, to supporting FLS at the NYLA annual conference. If you'd like to get involved with FLS, or if you have questions or just want to say hi, you can contact the FLS board at fls.nyla@yahoo.com. So here, we just have the NYLA website specifically leading you to the Friends page and FLS's Yahoo account if anyone has any questions or comments. So thank you so much for hearing me out. And yeah, that's all I have to say for now.
Thank you so much, Amy. And with that, we will transition into our Q&A portion. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. But actually, one last thing before we jump into Q&A, Amy, I just want to highlight there are some benefits to membership with the Friends of QPL. It's not just you doing a bunch of stuff for the library. So very important. And I forgot to mention that if you do sign up to be a friend of Queens Public Library, you will, in addition to getting those calls to actions throughout the year, you will also get a quarterly newsletter from us, as well as invitations to exclusive events and workshops that we conduct for our Friends members. We have a Friends of QPL book club that is exclusive to our Friends members, and we also have exclusive merchandise for our friends as well. So some goodies involved as well, should you decide to join us. And as we await to see if we have any questions, let's see.
I've got a question for you, Jerry.
Sure thing, thanks.
So, I forgot to start out by saying that I'm a huge fan of Queens Public Library, and I'm always, stalking you guys to see what you have going on, to see if there's any ideas I can borrow. But if you were to brag about one Friends of the QPL initiative during your tenure with the organization, what would it be? What would you brag about?
Honestly, I think my favorite thing that has really kind of blossomed, especially during the pandemic, but it was something that was happening prior to, we had friends who would do book giveaways. And so that was a very nice way for people to kind of, build their home library, right? But during the pandemic, when our branches were closed, that was really kind of one of the only safe things that we could do, because we could do a book giveaway outside. We take a table, we could social distance, we put on our gloves and our masks. And the friends were very much so like they just wanted to be able to provide the community with books. And it very much so blossomed to something that was happening across the borough at different branches. And they would pick themes. We'd have themes. So different holidays, we'd do a book giveaway, or like Michaeline referenced, a band book giveaway, especially these last couple of years with how book bans have really kind of taken off across the country. While we don't necessarily experience that here in New York City, it is something that we still want to bring attention to. People, I think, are often surprised when they find out, like, the top titles titles that are being those classics that are being on these banned lists. And so it has been just like a really beautiful thing to see our friends really embrace, you know, getting either donations or fundraising to be able to give brand new books to people. And so those are always my favorite kind of events, to see kids like just skipping away from the table, getting to pick a book, and seeing themselves reflected in the choices that they have. Definitely hands down my favorite thing that the Friends do is book giveaways.
I love that. You know, books bring us together.
Right.
So that's wonderful.
No, 100%.
Okay, I was kind of looking around at the Friends of QPL website, and it reminded me that, can you tell me about the Friends of QPL's role at Library Advocacy Day? Because I've been a few times over the years, and QPL always turns out in numbers, have like the strongest presence. And if my memory serves me right, you all are showing up in matching t-shirts.
Always, always, always. Library Advocacy Day, for those of you who are unaware, so NYLA, the New York Library Association, every like February, we have a day where libraries across the state get together and we go to the Capitol, we go to Albany, and we just lobby on behalf of libraries, public libraries, academic libraries, school libraries. It's just everybody coming, like I said, from across the state to support libraries. And so with us, with Queens Public Library, we always have a very strong delegation. It's one of our favorite things. So we take our staff, we take our Adult Learning Center students, but we also take our friends, because again, they're our strongest advocates, and they are so crucial for Library Advocacy Day for us, because a lot of our Friends members they're our community activists, right? They're on their local civic associations or their community boards and all of these different things that they do. So they typically know our elected officials and have relationships with them. And so it's much easier to put them in a group to go and talk to a state legislative, whereas, you know, some of our staff or our other volunteers who are going may not necessarily be comfortable or may be intimidated about going to speak with an elected official on behalf of something. So it's always helpful to have the friends, because they're like they're not intimidated at all. So it's really nice to always have them involved in Library Advocacy Day with us, because like there are our seasoned pros.
And it's just so meaningful to hear from non-staff members, because yes,
Right.
staff, we love the library, but we are
Right.
getting paid, you know? So it is so meaningful to hear from friends and, you know, and volunteers and just library users at Advocacy Day.
Right. No, definitely. Let's see. I see we have a question. Are there opportunities for friends groups across the state and country to connect? So actually, yes. So in addition to, like Amy was saying, the annual NYLA conference that we have every November, there are various professional associations. So there's the larger one, the American Library Association, and under that is United for Libraries, and they are for Friends members. And so they offer kind of their own kind of workshops and different things throughout the year. Some are virtual, some are in person, or the annual American Library Association conferences. Those happen twice a year. So there are always various ways for friends groups to get together. But again, a lot of the stuff that we get to do now has been virtually, which has been nice. One of the good things that came out of the pandemic, I think everybody's much more comfortable with doing video conferencing. So I feel like there's maybe a lot more collaboration across, the states. But like Amy was saying, you can always kind of check out what's going on across anywhere with the friends of the library group.
Yeah, I'm going to hop in for 1 second, because I know that you in Queens have a Friends Council, right?
Yes, you do. You're right. You're so right. That's hilarious.
I'm in Monroe County, and we have a
Mhm.
Friends Council. I just went to a Friends Council meeting in a neighboring library system that has
Mhm.
representatives from Ontario, Wyoming, Wayne, and Livingston counties. And I know
Very
down
nice.
in the Saratoga Springs area, they have a Friends Council. So I feel like Friends want to get together, because
Yes.
there's so many ideas to exchange. And like I know I already said it, but we friends are going to have the same struggles and also the
Right.
same victories to celebrate too. It's not all
Yes.
about struggles. So I think we'll see more and more friends councils popping up. And then, like you said, having like these virtual ways to connect, like can
Mhm.
help make these things happen.
Right. They definitely make it easier. And so for reference for everybody, a friends council is basically just like neighboring friends groups getting together to share best practices, ideas, and collaborate. So we actually just had our first like ever kind of powwow with the Friends of Brooklyn Public Library. So, our neighbors, another large urban system. So it's always exciting for different friends, like Amy said, to collaborate and get together. And even when it's kind of a different kind of thing, like a large urban system and a small rural system, we still have very similar kind of experiences because we have the same type of goals. So it's very nice to just, collaborate and see what other different types of libraries are doing with their friends groups as well. Let's see. I don't think we have any other questions. But in the meantime, if you all would like more information, you can always go to friends.queenslibrary.org to find out more about the Friends of QPL. Or Amy, the NYLA website for FLS was?
Yep, www.nyla.org/friends.
There we go. Yes. So please feel free, to join both of us or one of us, or, if you, like Amy said, if you just want to reach out and say hello, if you have any questions, you can always email me at friends@queenslibrary.org. And happy to, schedule an individual call or, get together with anyone and answer any other questions they might have about joining the Friends of QPL. But I think with that, we're going to end our program. But thank you so much for taking the time to learn about what it means to be a friend. And we hope that you join us. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.